But first, the states in the U.S. enjoying an energy boom due to fracking are having to deal with the backlash that comes with it. A new report found that people who live in those states have filed hundreds of complaints of well water becoming contaminated because of oil and gas drilling, further casting doubt on claims by industry bosses that these problems are rare. Well, let's take a closer look. The Associated Press looked at 4 U.S. states since 2010. In Ohio, 190 complaints were registered with 6 confirmed cases, I should say, of contamination. People in West Virginia filed over 120 complaints in the same period. In 4 cases, the drilling firm did agree to take corrective action. Well, Pennsylvania saw nearly 900 complaints in the last 2 years alone, and over 100 cases of pollution were confirmed in the past 5 years there. But the state of Texas is the clear leader in the number of people fed up with fracking. There's been 2,000 complaints, but authorities there insist not a single case of contamination has been confirmed. RT's Marina Portnaya witnessed public anger over fracking in the state of New York, where people want the practice to be banned.
Story in 2013 and remains a top priority in this new year. More than 1,000 people have gathered in Albany, New York State capital, to take part in an anti-fracking rally calling on the governor, Andrew Cuomo, to ban fracking in this state. Now, this rally that you see happening around me is taking place in the same building where the governor is scheduled to deliver his State of the State speech Wednesday evening, where he outlines his goals and objectives for the year. Now, his administration is currently reviewing the safety procedures of hydraulic fracking, which will ultimately lead to his decision on whether or not he will allow fracking to come to New York State. Now, over the past 10 years, fracking has led to a U.S. boom in oil and gas production, generating hundreds of billions in revenue for companies and landowners. But it's also created concerns and fears about pollution. Now, a long list of scientists and environmentalists have conducted studies and reports concluding that the chemicals used in fracking can lead to irreversible health dangers. Many of those that I spoke with say they've already seen cases, dangerous cases taking place in other states throughout the country, and they don't want to see those cases replicated where they live.
Air contamination, high levels of radiation, earthquakes. The bottom line, this is an extreme, incredibly dirty form of extreme energy extraction, and it cannot have any place in New York State.
I feel like the fracking companies have no heart. Is because they're not concerned about other people's health.
This is life or death, you know? Water is not renewable. We bring this fracking upstate New York, we're going to ruin our farmland.
We need to move to renewable energy. It's the only way we're going to survive life on the planet in the next 20 or 30 years, because I don't know how long the Mother Earth's going to let us poke holes in the ground before she does something that gets rid of the problem.
4 states that have been nurturing the fracking energy boom are now seeing the dangerous consequences. According to the Associated Press, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, and Texas received hundreds of complaints last year related to water pollution, and numerous cases were actually confirmed. New Yorkers say they do not want to be the next fracking footprint. But the question is, will the governor of this state listen and heed to the concerns of his constituents? Reporting from Albany, New York, Marina Portnaya, RT.
Fracking requires companies to pump chemicals into the ground to break apart rock and free the gas. Water can then return to the surface containing salt, heavy metals, and radiation, as well as cause air pollution. Anger over fracking has united many activists across the globe, but renewable energy advocate Tyson Slocum says there's a reason why we hear so little about the dangers.
The fact is that the hydraulic fracturing process is injecting millions of gallons of highly corrosive and highly toxic chemical mixtures into the ground, and some of them are in small traces. It still is harmful for health, but it's more difficult to pick up, especially if different state agencies lack the resources to do the full kind of testing required. What this investigation shows is that basically most of these states are just operating hotlines where people can call in, report these concerns that they're having, but we're not seeing systemic follow-up to determine exactly what, if any, contamination has occurred. Once the oil or natural gas companies confront landowners, they typically require them to sign what's known as non-disclosure agreements. The oil company will say, listen, we'll give you $10,000 or $20,000 in cash. We'll give you a year's supply of free drinking water. All you have to do is sign this non-disclosure agreement that forbids you from ever mentioning this publicly.